Chosen one, God Himself has guided you here, and what I'm about to share with you will transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. There's a divine decision, a single choice, that's about to unlock a floodgate of wealth, abundance, and prosperity in your life. This is not just about money, it's about stepping into the fullness of God's plan for you, where financial freedom, spiritual richness, and unshakable peace become your reality. You are not here by chance. You are a chosen one, destined for greatness, and this message is for you. So, stay with me until the very end, because your spirit already knows this truth is meant to change everything. Before we dive into this life-altering revelation, I need you to do 3 things to activate the energy of this message. Pause this video, hit that like button to send this divine truth to others. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this path of abundance, and leave a comment with the number 777. This sacred number is a sign of divine completion, a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive the blessings God has prepared for you. If you're truly a chosen one, you'll feel the pull to stay with me, because deep within your soul, you know this moment is the turning point you've been waiting for. Let me ask you something, chosen one. Have you ever felt like wealth was just out of reach? Like no matter how hard you worked, how many hours you poured in, or how many plans you made, the breakthrough you deserved never came? That struggle ends today. God is about to reveal a decision so powerful, so divinely orchestrated, that it will shift your financial reality instantly. This is not about toiling endlessly or chasing fleeting opportunities. This is about aligning with God's will, making one bold choice, and watching as His provision flows into your life like a river that never runs dry. You are stepping into a season of supernatural abundance, where the wealth you've prayed for, dreamed of, and believed in is already on its way. What is this decision? It's the decision to trust God completely, to surrender your fears, doubts, and need for control, and to walk boldly in the purpose He has set before you. This choice is not about what you do with your hands, but what you do with your heart. When you choose to trust God's plan over your own, you open the door to miracles. You activate a divine frequency that attracts wealth, opportunities, and favor like never before. This is the secret that the world doesn't understand, but you, as a chosen one, were born to embody. Your faith is your greatest asset, and when you make this one decision, God takes over the rest. Think about the story of Abraham, a man who trusted God's promise, even when it seemed impossible. God told him to leave everything familiar, his home, his comfort, his security, and go to a land he didn't know. Abraham didn't have a map, a plan, or a guarantee, but he made the decision to trust. And what happened? God made him the father of nations, blessed him with wealth beyond measure, and fulfilled every promise. That same God is speaking to you now, chosen one. He's asking you to trust Him, to let go of the fears holding you back, and to step into the unknown with faith. When you do, the riches of His kingdom will manifest in your life in ways that will leave you in awe. This decision is not just about money. It's about embracing your divine identity. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to live in lack, to struggle, or to feel unworthy. You are a child of the King, chosen to walk in abundance, to radiate prosperity, and to impact the world with your wealth. When you decide to trust God fully, you align with His purpose, and that alignment is magnetic. It draws opportunities to you that others can't see. It opens doors that no man can shut. It positions you to receive financial breakthroughs that seem to come out of nowhere. This is the power of divine trust, and it's the key to unlocking the riches God has stored up for you. Let me share something profound with you. The world tells you that wealth comes from hard work, from hustling, from playing the game of scarcity. But God's economy operates differently. His wealth is not earned, it's received. When you make the decision to trust Him, you step out of the world's system of lack and into His system of overflow. Imagine a river, endless and abundant, flowing with everything you need: money, resources, opportunities, peace. That's God's provision for you. As a chosen one, your job is not to chase the river, but to stand in its flow. Trust is the decision that positions you in the current of His blessings. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've trusted before and things didn't work out. Or maybe, what if I make this decision and nothing changes? Let me remind you of something, chosen one. God's timing is perfect, and His promises never fail. Every moment of waiting, every trial, every setback has been preparation for this moment. You weren't delayed, you were being refined. You weren't denied, you were being positioned. The wealth that's coming is not just for you to enjoy, but for you to use for His glory, to build His kingdom, to change lives. This is why the enemy has tried so hard to keep you in doubt, to make you question your worth. But today, you're breaking free. Today, you're making the decision to trust, and that choice will make you richer instantly. Let's talk about what richer really means. It's not just about dollars in your bank account, though that's coming. It's about a richness of spirit, a wealth of purpose, a prosperity that touches every area of your life. When you trust God, your relationships flourish, your health is restored, your mind is renewed, and your finances overflow. This is the abundant life Jesus spoke of in John 10:10. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. You were chosen for this life, and the decision to trust is the key that unlocks it. Every step you take in faith is a step toward the fullness of God's plan. Consider the story of Joseph, a man who trusted God through betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment. The world saw him as a nobody, but God saw him as a ruler. Joseph didn't let his circumstances define him. He trusted God's promise, and in a single moment God elevated him from a prisoner to a prince, giving him authority, wealth, and influence. When you decide to trust, God will take you from where you are to where He's called you to be, and the wealth that follows will astonish everyone around you. This decision to trust is not a one-time act, it's a lifestyle. Every day you choose to believe God's promises over the world's lies. You choose to walk in faith, even when you can't see the outcome. You choose to speak abundance, even when lack surrounds you. This is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The world reacts to what it sees, but you respond to what God says. And what does He say? In Jeremiah 29:11, He declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That's His promise to you, and your decision to trust activates it. Let me paint a picture for you, chosen one. Imagine waking up each morning with a peace that surpasses understanding, knowing that your needs are already met. Imagine opportunities flowing to you, business ventures, investments, partnerships that align perfectly with your purpose. Imagine the joy of giving generously, blessing others with the wealth God has poured into your life. This is not a fantasy, it's your future. The moment you decide to trust God fully, you step into this reality. Your bank account will reflect His favor, your life will radiate His glory, and your story will inspire others to believe. Now let's address the resistance you might face. When you make this decision, the enemy will try to shake you. Doubt will whisper, "What if it doesn't work?" Fear will say, "You're not worthy." But hear me, chosen one, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. The enemy's lies are powerless against God's truth. You are worthy because God chose you. You are destined for wealth because He promised it. When resistance comes, stand firm in your decision to trust. Speak God's promises over your life. Declare, I am a chosen one, and my wealth is on its way. The enemy will flee, and the blessings will flow. Let's take a moment to amplify this message. If this truth is resonating in your spirit, if you feel the fire of God's promise burning within you, I invite you to pause this video, hit that like button, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls on this journey, and leave a comment with the number 777. This is your declaration to the universe that you're ready for the abundance God has prepared. Your action is a seed of faith, and God honors every seed sown in trust. Do it now, and watch how the energy of this moment shifts in your favor. As you embrace this decision to trust, something miraculous happens. You begin to glow with a divine radiance that others can't ignore. This is not just about financial wealth, it's about the richness of your spirit. When you trust God, your confidence grows, your vision clears, and your presence becomes magnetic. People will notice a change in you. They'll wonder, what's different? Why do you seem so alive, so prosperous? It's because you've tapped into the source of all abundance, God Himself. Your decision to trust is transforming you from the inside out, and that transformation is a testimony to His power. Think about the woman who anointed Jesus with expensive perfume in Mark 14. The world called her wasteful, but Jesus called her faithful. She trusted God with her most valuable possession, and her act of faith was remembered for generations. That's the kind of trust God is calling you to. When you give Him your fears, your doubts, your need for control, He multiplies your faith into blessings that overflow. Your decision to trust is your offering, and God will honor it with wealth that surpasses your wildest dreams. This is not about chasing money, it's about chasing God's purpose. When you pursue His will, wealth follows you. Proverbs 10:22 says, "The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it." That's His promise to you. You don't have to grind endlessly or stress about the future. Your decision to trust positions you to receive effortlessly. The right people will connect with you, the right opportunities will find you, the right resources will flow to you, all because you chose to trust the one who holds the universe in His hands. Let me share a secret the world doesn't know. Wealth is not just about what you have, it's about who you're becoming. As a chosen one, your decision to trust is shaping you into a vessel of God's glory. You're becoming someone who walks in authority, who speaks with wisdom, who gives with generosity. This is the richness that sets you apart. The world chases money, but you chase God. And in doing so, you inherit everything. Your bank account will grow, your influence will expand, and your life will shine as a beacon of His grace. Now, imagine the impact of your wealth. Picture yourself blessing your family, supporting ministries, funding dreams that change the world. Your decision to trust doesn't just enrich you, it enriches everyone around you. You become a conduit of God's provision, a living testimony of His faithfulness. People will look at you and say, "How did this happen? What changed?" And you'll smile, knowing it was one decision. The decision to trust that unlocked it all. This is your calling, chosen one, to live a life so abundant that it points others to God. As you step into this season of wealth, remember that God's provision is limitless. There are no ceilings to His blessings, no boundaries to His favor. The wealth that's coming is not just for today, it's for generations. Your decision to trust is planting seeds that will bear fruit long after you're gone. Your children will inherit your faith, your community will feel your impact, and your legacy will glorify God. This is the power of one decision, one moment of surrender, one act of trust that changes everything. Let's talk about the practical side of this decision. Trusting God doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means moving forward in faith. It means saying yes to the opportunities He sends, even when they scare you. It means speaking life over your finances, even when the numbers don't add up. It means giving generously, even when you're tempted to hold back. Every act of trust is a step toward the wealth God has promised, and with every step you'll see His hand at work, turning the impossible into reality. Consider the story of the widow in 2 Kings 4. She had nothing but a jar of oil and a mountain of debt, but when she trusted God's instruction through Elisha, her small act of faith multiplied into an overflow that paid her debts and sustained her family. That's what God does with your trust. He takes your little and makes it much. He takes your faith and turns it into miracles. Your decision to trust is the jar of oil, and God is about to pour out an overflow that will leave you speechless. This decision is not without challenges. The world will try to pull you back into fear, into doubt, into the old patterns of scarcity. But you are not of this world, chosen one. You are a citizen of God's kingdom, where abundance is your birthright. When challenges come, remind yourself of Philippians 4:19. And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of His glory in Christ Jesus. Your trust is your shield, and God's promise is your sword. Stand firm and watch how He fights for you. As you make this decision, you'll notice a shift in your spirit. You'll feel lighter, freer, more alive. That's the power of trust. It breaks the chains of worry and releases the joy of expectation. You'll start to see signs of God's provision everywhere. A check in the mail, a new client, a sudden idea that sparks a business. These are not coincidences. They're confirmations that your decision to trust is working. God is moving, and the wealth He's promised is already on its way. Let me remind you of something, chosen one. You were chosen before the foundation of the world. Ephesians 1:4 says, "For He chose us in Him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in His sight." That's you. You were hand-picked by God for a purpose, and that purpose includes wealth. Not just to have it, but to use it for His glory. Your decision to trust is not just about your bank account, it's about your destiny. It's about stepping into the fullness of who God created you to be. Now, let's amplify this energy one more time. If this message is igniting your faith, if you're ready to make this decision and step into God's abundance, pause this video, hit that like button, subscribe to join the Chosen One community, and leave a comment with the number 777. This is your moment to declare, "I trust God, and my wealth is coming." Your action is a testimony, a seed of faith that God will multiply. Do it now and feel the shift in your spirit. As you embrace this decision, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the world. Your wealth will fund dreams, heal communities, and spread God's love. Your story will inspire others to trust, to believe, to step into their own abundance. This is the ripple effect of a chosen one's faith. One decision, one moment of trust, and everything changes. You are not just receiving wealth, you are becoming a vessel of God's glory, a living testament to His power. As you stand on the precipice of this divine decision, chosen one, something extraordinary is happening within you. The moment you choose to trust God fully, you ignite a spark that sets your entire life ablaze with possibility. This is not just about financial wealth. It's about stepping into a realm where every dream you've ever held, every vision you've carried in your heart, begins to take shape. Your decision to trust is like a key turning in a lock, opening doors to opportunities that were once hidden, opportunities that are divinely tailored for you. You are not just walking toward abundance, you are sprinting toward a destiny that God has been preparing for you since the beginning of time. Let's talk about the power of this moment. Right now, as you listen to these words, you are at a crossroads. The world will tempt you to stay in the familiar, to cling to the safety of what you know. But God is calling you to something greater. He's calling you to a life where lack is a distant memory, where your faith becomes the currency that buys miracles. When you trust Him, you're not just hoping for a better future. You're claiming it. You're declaring that the promises of God are yours, that the wealth He's spoken over your life is already manifesting. This is the kind of faith that moves mountains, that parts seas, that turns scarcity into surplus. Picture this, chosen one. You're standing in a vast field, and before you is a harvest so abundant it stretches beyond the horizon. This is not a dream. It's the reality God has prepared for you. Every seed of faith you've sown, every prayer you've whispered, every tear you've shed in the midnight hour has been watering this harvest. Your decision to trust is the moment you step forward to reap it. You're not waiting for permission, you're not waiting for the right time. You're claiming what's yours because God has already declared it so. The wealth that's coming is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling, to equip you to fulfill the purpose He's placed within you. Let me share a truth that will set you free. The enemy wants you to believe that wealth is for the lucky, the connected, the elite. But God says otherwise. In Deuteronomy 8:18, He reminds you, it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. Your wealth doesn't come from your resume, your network, or your hustle. It comes from the Creator of the universe. When you trust Him, you tap into a source that never runs dry. You don't need to beg for scraps when you're seated at the King's table. Your decision to trust is your RSVP to that table, where abundance is your portion and favor is your inheritance. Now imagine the energy that flows through you when you make this choice. It's like a current of divine electricity charging every part of your being. You walk differently, speak differently, dream differently. You're no longer bound by the limitations of the past, the mistakes you've made, the opportunities you've missed, the setbacks you've faced. They have no power over you anymore. Your trust in God rewrites your story, turning every what if into what is. You're not just hoping for wealth. You're expecting it because you know the one who promised it is faithful. Let's talk about the people around you. When you make this decision, you become a beacon of possibility. Your faith will inspire your family, your friends, even strangers who cross your path. They'll see the light in your eyes, the confidence in your step, the joy that radiates from your spirit. They'll ask, how are you so calm in the storm? How are you thriving when others are struggling? And you'll tell them, I made one decision, to trust God, and it changed everything. Your life will become a living sermon, preaching the power of faith without saying a word. This is the legacy of a chosen one, to shine so brightly that others find their way to God. Let's amplify this moment, chosen one. If you feel this truth stirring in your soul, if you're ready to claim the wealth God has promised, pause this video, hit that like button to spread this message, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking in divine abundance, and leave a comment with the number 777. This is your declaration that you're stepping into God's provision, that you're trusting Him for the breakthrough. Your action is a signal to the heavens, and God is watching. Do it now, and feel the power of this moment surge through you. As you embrace this decision, you'll discover a strength you didn't know you had. This is not the strength of the world, built on pride or self-reliance. This is the strength of the Holy Spirit, empowering you to rise above every obstacle. The challenges that once overwhelmed you will seem small in the light of God's promises. The fears that once held you back will dissolve in the presence of His peace. Your trust in God is a fortress, unshakable and eternal. No storm can topple it. No doubt can breach it. No enemy can overcome it. You are fortified by faith, and your wealth is secured by the one who never fails. Let's talk about the opportunities that are coming. When you trust God, you become a magnet for divine connections. The right people will enter your life at the right time. Mentors, partners, investors, friends who align with your purpose. These are not random encounters, they're orchestrated by God. He's aligning the pieces of your destiny, setting the stage for your breakthrough. You don't need to chase these opportunities, they will chase you. Your job is to stay in faith, to keep trusting, to keep walking the path God has set before you. The wealth that follows will be a natural overflow of your alignment with His will. Consider the story of Esther, a young woman who trusted God in the face of impossible odds. She was an orphan, an outsider, yet God positioned her to become a queen who saved her people. Her trust in God's plan gave her the courage to step into a role she never could have imagined. That same God is positioning you, chosen one. He's placing you in rooms you never thought you'd enter, giving you influence you never thought you'd have, and pouring out wealth you never thought you'd possess. Your trust is the bridge between where you are and where He's taking you. This decision to trust is also a decision to release. You're letting go of the need to control every outcome, to figure out every detail, to carry every burden. God is saying, "Give it to me." Your finances, your dreams, your fears, hand them over. When you do, you create space for His miracles to flow. You're not just trusting Him to provide, you're trusting Him to exceed your expectations. Ephesians 3:20 says, He is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. That's the God you serve, chosen one. Your trust unlocks His immeasurably more, and the wealth that comes will blow your mind. Let's talk about the vision God has placed in your heart. Maybe it's a business, a ministry, a creative project, or a dream to impact the world. That vision is not a coincidence. It's a divine assignment. Your decision to trust is the fuel that brings it to life. When you align your faith with God's purpose, He provides the resources to make it happen. The money you need, the wisdom you seek, the connections you require, they're all coming. Your trust is the catalyst, turning your vision into reality. Don't let doubt dim that vision. Don't let fear steal that dream. Trust God and watch how He brings it to pass. As you walk in this trust, you'll notice a shift in your perspective. The world's noise will fade, and God's voice will become clearer. You'll start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You'll find solutions where others see problems. This is the mindset of a chosen one, a mindset of abundance rooted in faith. You're not limited by what you see, you're empowered by what God says, and He says you are destined for wealth, for impact, for a life that glorifies Him. Your trust is the lens that brings His promises into focus, revealing the riches that were always yours. Let me remind you of something powerful. Your wealth is not just for you, it's for the world. God is raising you up to be a blessing, to fund His kingdom, to lift others out of despair. Your decision to trust is not selfish, it's sacred. It's a commitment to use your abundance for good, to shine His light in dark places, to show the world what's possible when you believe. Your wealth will build schools, feed the hungry, heal the broken. It will tell a story of God's faithfulness, a story that echoes for generations. This is the calling of a chosen one, and you were born for it. As you step into this season of trust, expect the unexpected. God loves to surprise his children with blessings that take your breath away. A contract you didn't see coming, a gift you didn't expect, a door that opens at the perfect moment. These are the fingerprints of his favor. Your trust invites these surprises, creating space for God to show off his goodness. Psalm 31:19 says, "How abundant are the good things that you have stored up for those who fear you." That's you, chosen one. Your trust is the key that unlocks his storehouse, and the wealth that pours out will leave you in awe. Let's talk about the peace that comes with this decision. When you trust God, you're no longer tossed by the waves of worry. You're anchored in his promises, unshaken by the storms of life. This peace is a wealth of its own, a treasure that money can't buy. It's the confidence that your future is secure, that your needs are met, that your God is faithful. As you walk in this peace, you'll attract more abundance, because a heart at rest is a magnet for God's blessing. Your trust creates a cycle of favor, where peace leads to provision, and provision leads to greater peace. Now, let's address the naysayers. There will be those who question your faith, who doubt your vision, who mock your trust. But their words are powerless against God's truth. You are not defined by their opinions. You are defined by his promises. When they see your wealth, your joy, your impact, they'll be silenced. Your life will be a testimony that shuts down every critic. Keep trusting, keep believing, keep walking in faith. The God who called you will vindicate you, and the riches he's promised will speak for themselves. As you make this decision, you're joining a lineage of faith. Think of David, who trusted God against Goliath. Think of Ruth, who trusted God in a foreign land. Think of Daniel, who trusted God in the lion's den. These were ordinary people who made one decision: to trust, and God turned them into legends. You are part of that legacy, chosen one. Your trust is writing a story that will inspire generations. A story of faith that triumphs over fear, of abundance that overflows, of a God who never fails. Keep trusting and watch how he makes your name great for his glory. Chosen one, as you anchor yourself in this divine decision to trust, you're stepping into a realm where the impossible becomes your reality. Every moment you choose faith over fear, you're rewriting the script of your life, crafting a masterpiece that glorifies God's limitless power. This is not just about wealth. It's about becoming a living testament to what happens when a chosen one dares to believe. You're not chasing dreams anymore. You're catching them, holding them, living them. The wealth that's flowing to you is a byproduct of your unwavering trust, a divine reward for your courage to stand firm in God's promises. Let's talk about the fire within you. There's a spark in your soul, a holy ambition that God himself planted. It's the vision of a life so abundant, so impactful, that it shifts the atmosphere wherever you go. Your decision to trust is fanning that spark into a flame, a blaze that cannot be contained. You're not just meant to survive, you're meant to thrive, to soar, to dominate in the purpose God has given you. The wealth that's coming is not just money. It's the resources, the influence, the authority to fulfill every calling on your life. You're stepping into a season where your dreams don't just whisper, they roar. Imagine the feeling of walking into a room and knowing you carry God's favor. That's what your trust does. It cloaks you in divine confidence, a radiance that draws opportunities like moths to a flame. You're not begging for a seat at the table anymore. You're building your own table, inviting others to share in the abundance God has given you. Your decision to trust is transforming you into a leader, a trailblazer, a force for good in a world desperate for hope. The wealth that follows is not just for you. It's for every life you're destined to touch, every heart you're called to uplift. Let's talk about the divine timing of this moment. God is not a God of delays. He's a God of precision. Every step you've taken, every challenge you've overcome, has been leading you to this exact point. Your trust is aligning you with His perfect plan, where every promise converges into reality. The wealth that's coming is not random, it's appointed, ordained, set apart for you before you were even born. Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Your days of abundance are written in God's book, and your trust is turning the page to that chapter. Now, let's talk about the courage it takes to trust. The world will try to pull you back, to tempt you with shortcuts, to cloud your vision with distractions. But you, chosen one, are built for more. You're not swayed by fleeting pleasures or temporary fixes. Your trust in God is a bold declaration that you'd rather wait for His best than settle for less. This courage is your superpower, setting you apart in a world that's quick to compromise. When you trust God, you're saying, "I believe in the unseen. I believe in the eternal. I believe in the God who makes all things new." And that belief will bring you wealth that outshines every counterfeit. Picture the ripple effect of your trust. Your decision doesn't just change your life, it changes generations. The wealth God is pouring into you will fund legacies, break curses, and build futures. Your children will inherit not just money, but faith, not just resources, but resilience. Your community will feel the impact of your generosity, your vision, your love. You're not just receiving wealth, you're redistributing it, using it to sow seeds of hope, healing, and transformation. This is the calling of a chosen one, to be a conduit of God's goodness, a vessel of His overflow. Let's amplify this energy, chosen one. If this message is setting your spirit on fire, if you're ready to trust God and claim the wealth He's promised, pause this video, hit that like button to share this truth, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls embracing their divine destiny, and leave a comment with the number 777. This is your moment to proclaim, "I trust God and my abundance is here." Your action is a seed of faith planted in fertile ground, and God is ready to multiply it. Do it now and feel the heavens shift in your favor. As you walk in this trust, you'll discover a clarity that cuts through the chaos of the world. You'll see opportunities others miss, hear solutions others can't grasp, feel peace others can't comprehend. This is the gift of divine discernment, a byproduct of your decision to trust. God is sharpening your mind, tuning your spirit, aligning your heart with His. The wealth that's coming is not just financial, it's intellectual. You're becoming rich in wisdom, rich in purpose, rich in the kind of joy that no circumstance can steal. Let's talk about the doors God is opening. These are not ordinary doors. They're portals to your destiny, gateways to the life He's promised. Your trust is the key that unlocks them, revealing paths you never knew existed. Maybe it's a business idea that sparks a global movement. Maybe it's a connection that leads to a life-changing partnership. Maybe it's a creative project that touches millions. Whatever it is, it's coming, and it's bigger than you can imagine. Your job is to keep trusting, to keep walking, to keep saying yes to God's invitations. The wealth that follows will be the fuel for every step. Consider the story of Noah, a man who trusted God when the world called him crazy. He built an ark in the middle of dry land, believing in a flood no one could see. His trust seemed foolish to the world, but it saved his family and changed history. That's the kind of trust God is calling you to. A trust that defies logic, that silences skeptics, that builds something eternal. Your wealth is the ark God is asking you to build, and your trust is the hammer that drives every nail. Keep building, chosen one, because the flood of His blessings is coming. This decision to trust is also a decision to rest. Not the rest of laziness, but the rest of faith. You're no longer striving, no longer fighting battles that aren't yours. God is saying, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10. Your trust allows you to release the weight of worry, to lay down the burden of how and when. You don't need to know the details. God's got them covered. Your wealth is not dependent on your effort, but on His faithfulness. Rest in that truth and watch how He moves mountains on your behalf. Let's talk about the authority you carry as a chosen one. When you trust God, you walk with a divine mandate, a heavenly backing that no force can challenge. You're not just hoping for wealth, you're commanding it in the name of Jesus. Your words have power, your prayers shift realities, your faith moves the unseen. This is the kind of authority that makes the enemy tremble, that makes lack flee, that makes abundance bow at your feet. Your trust is not passive, it's a weapon, a force, a declaration that God's promises are yours. As you embrace this trust, you'll feel a surge of creativity. God is downloading ideas, strategies, and innovations that will set you apart. These are not ordinary ideas. They're divine blueprints tailored to your purpose. The wealth that's coming will fund these ideas, turning them into realities that change the world. You're not just a dreamer, you're a doer, a builder, a creator in the image of your Creator. Your trust is the canvas, and God is painting a masterpiece through you. Lean into that creativity and watch how it multiplies your wealth. Let's talk about the joy of expectation. When you trust God, you wake up each day with a holy excitement, knowing that His blessings are on their way. This joy is contagious, infecting everyone around you with hope. You're not just expecting wealth, you're expecting miracles, breakthroughs, divine surprises that leave you in awe of God's goodness. This expectation is a magnet, drawing God's provision closer with every heartbeat. Keep expecting, chosen one, because what you're waiting for is already here, unfolding in ways you can't yet see. Now, let's address the seasons of waiting. Trusting God doesn't mean everything happens instantly. It means you believe it's already done. The wealth that's coming may take time to manifest, but it's not delayed. It's developing. God is working behind the scenes, aligning people, places, and resources for your breakthrough. Your trust is the bridge between the promise and the manifestation, the faith that holds you steady while God perfects His plan. Keep trusting, keep praising, keep believing, because the harvest is ripening, and it's yours. As you walk in this trust, you'll become a magnet for divine favor. People will go out of their way to bless you. Opportunities will appear without effort. Resources will flow without struggle. This is the favor of God, a supernatural advantage that sets you apart. Psalm 5:12 says, "Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield." Your trust activates this shield, protecting you from lack and surrounding you with abundance. You're not just favored, you're unstoppable. Let's talk about the transformation happening within you. Your decision to trust is not just changing your circumstances, it's changing you. You're becoming bolder, wiser, more compassionate. You're stepping into the fullness of your identity as a chosen one, radiating the glory of God in everything you do. This transformation is magnetic, drawing wealth, influence, and purpose to you. You're not just receiving riches, you're becoming a riches, a treasure in God's kingdom, a vessel of His light. As you trust God, you'll discover a new level of gratitude. Every blessing, no matter how small, becomes a reason to praise. This gratitude is a key that unlocks more abundance, creating a cycle of blessing that never ends. You're not just thankful for what you have, you're thankful for what's coming, for the God who makes it all possible. This gratitude will carry you through every season, filling your heart with joy and your life with wealth. Keep trusting, keep thanking, and watch how God multiplies your blessings.